AMD opened the session at $160.80, touched a high of $162.28, and slid to a low of $159.33 before settling into its afternoon groove. Those intraday pins show normal trader activity, buyers testing the tape, sellers responding, but no panic liquidation. Its market capitalization sits around $262.6 billion, firmly megacap territory, which tells you this is not a sleepy hardware company anymore, it's a systemic piece of the compute ecosystem. AMD's 52-week range runs from a low near $76.48 up to a high of about $186.65, a wide gulf that captures both the company's comeback story and the valuation volatility that comes with being front row to the AI party. Why GPUs matter, and why they moved markets. Over the past few years, hyperscalers and cloud providers have poured capital into AI infrastructure, and a massive share of that capex has been directed at GPU accelerators. Some market write-ups summarize this bluntly. GPUs are estimated to comprise roughly half of data center spending on AI-related infrastructure, which helps explain why GPU makers, NVIDIA, saw astronomical returns as AI demand exploded. In plain terms, GPUs became the most sought-after ingredient in the global compute recipe. That tsunami of GPU demand is the reason the market crowned NVIDIA the AI king, and drove its stock to stratospheric valuations. When almost every new data center rack needs accelerators to run large models, companies supplying those accelerators get front-seat rides on the growth train. But hold up, there's a second act, edge computing. The long story isn't just about giant racks of GPUs in hyperscaler data centers. Over the medium to long term, more AI workloads will move to the edge, i.e., being processed on devices or local servers instead of in massive centralized clouds. Edge AI is growing fast. Market forecasts and industry reports show strong CAGR expectations and device proliferation, driven by robotics, industrial sensors, autonomous systems, and smarter consumer devices. That migration is a huge structural growth opportunity because it multiplies the number of places that need capable chips, and not all of those places will buy gargantuan data center GPUs. Why does this matter for AMD? Because AMD makes both the beasts for the data center, Instinct accelerators, EPYC CPUs, and the smaller, power-efficient devices, Ryzen and Ryzen AI lines, giving it exposure to both sides of the compute wave, centralized and distributed. AMD's product portfolio, the two-pronged attack, GPUs plus CPUs. Think of AMD as a mid-sized orchestra with two-star sections, GPUs and accelerators, Instinct/MI300 family, built to sit in data center racks and run heavy AI training and inference workloads. AMD has been iterating on its CDNA architecture and Instinct line to be competitive in high-memory, high-bandwidth scenarios that AI workflows need. Those chips are the tickets to hyperscaler deployments and HPC contracts. By the way, if you are benefiting from the content so far and want more like this, like the video, it means much to me. Hit the subscribe button, turn on the notifications bell, and comment the word more. Just go ahead and type the word more so I know. Now that you have commented, let's continue. CPUs, EPYC for servers, Ryzen for desktops/laptops. EPYC is AMD's server engine, dense cores, energy efficiency, and lots of memory and PCIe lanes, all useful for cloud workloads, CPU-bound inference, and as hosts for GPU racks. On the client side, Ryzen, including AI-capable Ryzen mobile chips, powers the growing universe of edge devices that will run on-device AI. That combo, capable server CPUs plus accelerators for heavy AI plus mobile/edge CPUs, is why AMD's business looks like a two-way bet on the compute revolution. Imagine the world's AI demand as a global restaurant industry. The hyperscalers are massive banquet halls. They need industrial ovens, big GPUs, to churn out giant feasts of model training. That's NVIDIA, and increasingly AMD's Instinct accelerators. The edge is the local food truck or bistro. It needs nimble, power-efficient gear to prepare tasty dishes right where customers are. That's Ryzen/EPYC-powered edge servers and mobile processors. AMD is like the company that makes both the ovens for the banquet halls and the high-end blenders for the food trucks. Owning both markets means you're not a one-hit wonder, you're a supplier across the entire dining industry. Why Edge AI helps AMD's long-term case. Edge AI multiplies endpoints, factories, cars, drones, retail checkout lanes, hospital monitors, each wants local inference or pre-processing. Those endpoints don't need the biggest GPUs in a hyperscaler rack, but they do need smarter CPUs and specialized accelerators that fit power and cost budgets. AMD's advantage: it already sells EPYC into servers and Ryzen into clients, and it's building AI-capable silicon across form factors, including Ryzen AI and low-power EPYC variants. If edge adoption accelerates, AMD gets a growing TAM, total addressable market, that compounds the data center story rather than depending on it alone. Put differently, the future isn't a binary choice between cloud and edge, it's both. AMD sits on both chairs. The NVIDIA effect: why the GPU craze lifted the whole sector. When NVIDIA's GPUs became the de facto hardware for modern AI, the company's revenues and multiples surged, and so did investor interest in semiconductor peers and suppliers. This moonshot effect lifted many boats, driving capital into the sector and making investors ask, who else can sell compute to big AI? AMD benefits from this halo effect, but with one difference: NVIDIA has long dominated the highest-end training market while AMD is carving out share and focusing on where it can win: memory bandwidth, integrated CPU plus GPU APUs, and data center APUs like MI300A. The market's previous love for GPU plays leaves room for AMD to be the contrarian or catch-up story, depending on execution that could eventually hit it to $1,350 in coming years. Note this as well. When his disciples heard it, they were exceedingly amazed, saying, "Who then can be saved?" But Jesus beheld them, and said unto them, "With men this is impossible, but with God all things are possible." Then answered Peter and said unto him, "Behold, we have forsaken all, and followed thee. What shall we have therefore?" And Jesus said unto them, "Verily I say unto you, that ye which have followed me, in the regeneration when the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory, ye also shall sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. And every one that hath forsaken houses, or brethren, or sisters, or father, or mother, or wife, or children, or lands, for my name's sake, shall receive an hundredfold, and shall inherit everlasting life. But many that are first shall be last, and the last shall be first." Matthew 19:25-30. If we fully obey the Lord, the Creator of heaven and earth, and carefully follow all His commandments, He has promised to set us high above all the nations of the earth. Deuteronomy 28. We shall be blessed when we come in and when we go out. I appeal to you to accept God and let Him be your guide, for He will never leave you nor forsake you. Do not be afraid, do not be discouraged. Deuteronomy 31 verse 8. Want more information? Please check the description section. That's the end for now. If you have watched until the end, drop a comment like this: "I stayed until the end." Just comment that I stayed until the end. When I see this comment, I will give you a heart. 3 more favors I request from you. First, like this video, subscribe, and then turn on the notifications bell. If you do this, you greatly encourage me to continue bringing to you insightful content. Do not miss out on our future videos full of insight. All I am asking is your subscription. Thanks for joining us today. Your support means so much to us. Do not hesitate to share this video to help someone who may benefit. I recommend that you watch the next video, subscribe to the channel, and share your thoughts about today's video. Wish you God's blessings and care. Faith and prayer will do what no power on earth can accomplish. See you in the next video by God's mercy.